Hey everyone, PT here again from Time in the Word. Come along with me as we delve into the next installment of putting on the whole armor of God. Ephesians 6:13 urges us to put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, we will be able to stand our ground. And after only then can we stand. In our fourth session on wearing the whole armor of God, we delved into the significance of the breastplate of righteousness. We discussed how Christ is the source of our righteousness and why having this breastplate is crucial for guarding our hearts against spiritual corruption, enabling us to continue living righteously. Right, so today we will be looking into the third component of the armor of God, which is the sandals of peace, Ephesians 6:14, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. Essentially, we are instructed to live at peace with all men, which is the gospel of peace. In Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6, the Bible prophesied the birth of Christ, describing him among other titles as the Prince of Peace. Now, what does this mean to you and I in our relationship with others? Romans 5:10 explains that in our sinful state, we were adversaries of God, but were reconciled to him through the death of Christ. In Romans chapter 5 verse 8, it further emphasizes that God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Because of Christ's sacrifice, we are restored to a peaceful relationship with God. Romans 5:1. So this is the ultimate fulfillment of Christ's role as the Prince of Peace. So the gospel of peace is a message of reconciliation. As stated in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17 to 19, therefore if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation, for all things are gone away and new things have come. So all this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. That God was reconciling the world to himself in Christ, not counting people's sin against them, and he has committed to us the message of reconciliation. To be prepared with the sandals of peace means being ready to advocate for peace. Wherever we represent Christ, we are called to be prepared at all times to share the gospel of peace. Now, here's a question to ponder on. Do people feel at peace or a sense of peace around us? Is there a calmness to our presence? When others enter into our homes, offices, ministries, do they sense peace or conflict? How can we defeat the enemy if we are constantly at odds with our fellow believers? As discussed in the previous episode, prayer is not a substitute for wearing the full armor of God. Many of the prayers we offer today, without being adequately dressed in the sandals of peace, place us on unnecessary paths of conflict. So what does it mean to wear the sandals of peace? Matthew chapter 5 verse 23 to 24 advises, says, therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there you remember that your brother or your sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and reconcile with them, then come and offer your gift. Notice it says your brother or sister has something against you, not if you have something against them. See, offering is a form of worship, and God will not accept it if we are in conflict with other people. Our joyful worship or generous offering are unacceptable if we are not pursuing peace. We leave room for the enemy to exploit our discord if all we do is stand in prayer alone. This cannot enable us to stand against the principalities, power, rulers of darkness, or spiritual wickedness in high places. Proverbs 16:17 reveals that when a man's way pleases the Lord, he makes even his enemy to be at peace with him. If our actions do not please God, we cannot experience peace, and without peace, we are ineffective messengers of the gospel and unable to overcome challenges. This does not mean that everyone and anyone will want to be at peace with us. In the meantime, we must continue to please the Lord until such time that their heart is touched. Romans 10:15 states that how shall we preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those that preach the gospel of peace, who bring glad tidings of good things. According to the pulpit commentary, Roman sandals were equipped with nails that provided a firm grip on the ground, even when it was sloping or slippery. Similarly, the good news of peace keeps us stable and upright when we find ourselves in a sloping or slippery situation while preaching the gospel of peace. The purpose of peace is to steady our minds, guarding us from fear and conflict through the good news that we are at peace with God. And if God is for us, who can be against us? Remember, being without peace is a battle in itself, and we cannot stand firm in warfare with a troubled mind. I hope this series is blessing you. If so, please share with others. Until I come your way during our next session, remember to find peace and extend peace to others. Remain envisioned. God bless you.